me ask you guys, do you ever have fun when you're trying to use a device that's different than the one you got used to using when you started OBS software, which is Open Broadcasting System? Yeah, that's me. Here I am, an electrical engineering technology guy, and I can't even friggin' troubleshoot my own PC. No, I can. I just sometimes lose my mind after a long day. So let's try GM Tips 187 again with Remarkable Inns and Their Drinks, or as I will title it, Remarkable Inns, Cantinas, and Shady Little Places and Their Drinks. Okay, because I'm going to go across many systems. Where do I get such a cool title, you ask? Ooh. Everybody asks me these things. Where do you get these cool titles? Not for my own volition. Let me give props to the people who came up with the cool title. This is, you can't read it backwards. It says Remarkable Inns and Their Drinks by the great Greg Rycerz, Katie Rose, Richie Lewin, Benoit de Bernardy, my buddy, my Frenchman, and Chris Van der Linden, my fine Dutchman. Yeah, they're all part of Loresmith, if you haven't figured that out. And I've got a special place in my heart for all of these folks and them doing well. But that's not why I'm necessarily doing this. It's just a nice side effect. Now, again, thank you for putting up with the friggin' bad audio mic and my sucky video because I left the Logitech 310 at home. Yay, I'm such a smart GM. Yeah, I have moments. So please laugh at my expense. It's always good once in a while. Let's see if I can do the third time as a charm. So what we're going to talk about today is using the inn, the cantina, the shady little joint that kind of serves as an inner cantina or maybe a tavern, and using it for more than just to introduce your party together, because we've all done that. We've all used it as the meeting point that everybody meets, they have some drinks, they get to bond with each other, they burn down the inn, they have a bar fight, they blow it up, they do God knows what, to the GM's chagrin. And yes, players, you do raise that level of chagrin after a while, because gee, you use the same old. Hey, let's wreck the inn. Hopefully we as GMs can dissuade you from this in a good way. And that's by making a remarkable or memorable place. So I'm going to talk a little bit today because these guys did a great job on the topic. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Love these guys. Love what they do. Again, they want me to keep the PDF private because this is kind of their early. They're getting ready to launch it in the PDF format and the written format to print. But they have us go through and look at it. But it sparked me to some great ideas. And so I promise Chris and Benoit and the rest of the team that Katie and the rest, I will not divulge too much. I promise. Okay? I won't divulge any of the names of the really freaking cool inns that you put in there. The really freaking cool, memorable places. And the really, really freaking cool NPCs that are involved with them. Instead, I will go towards how can we as GMs construct some memorable inns and places. And then at the end, I'm going to throw a little snippet in. Please stick around for it. That's all I ask. No, I'm not going to be preachy at you guys or anything. Promise. Okay? You guys know me better. I don't do that. I will never do that to you guys. It's just not in my core being. Did it when I was younger. Learn from it. Don't do it now. All right, so remarkable inns and drinks. One of the great things that the team does here is they talk about building inns towards the later chapters from the ground up. How do you design your own remarkable and memorable inn? So now with me doing a third take on this, if I can't do this verbatim without looking at this, I should be shot, okay? And knock on wood, I don't want to be shot, but I should be. All right, so as a GM, how can you design an inn, a cantina, a way station stop so that it is very memorable? first of all, the structure itself. So depending on your game system, your genre, there are a lot of different ones you can use. And I'm going to touch a lot of people's game in the vein of Gen Con 50 and all those wonderful people there. I'm going to be mentioning every little system that I can get my hands on. All right. So for a Cthulhu setting, maybe it's a pub, a small pub up in Pennsylvania near where a lot of the weird stuff takes place. Or maybe it's over in England, jolly old England, where it's a pub that you go to and you meet, and they have some really cool people and structures. And it's got a real rustic look to it. So how do you describe it? Do you describe walking through outside the door what the sign looks like and give real detail? So the lettering, the coloration, what mascots on the sign, the name of the inn and pub, or if it's a space one, the lights in the cantina, or maybe the one part of the light that does flicker or doesn't come on. Maybe it's the catchy name or the way, the material that it's made out of. You describe it in that detail that really makes it memorable for the players. Then they go through that door, whether it's doors that will whoosh open, or it's a big wooden door, it's a metal door. It's something memorable. For those fans of the Dresden Files, I'm going to give you a quick quiz. What was the name of the inn and pub that Harry goes to all the time? It's considered the neutral place. How about our favorite little innkeeper who runs it? See, I'm not going to give that away. I'm going to make you read the Dresden Files because I love him. I love Jim Butcher, and I love his stuff, and I love Harry Dresden. And I love how he has made him so iconic. But that pub is one of the most iconic places. I will give you the innkeeper. His name is Mac. And I love Mac. Mac is a man of few words, but when he speaks to Harry, Harry listens. Good trait. Makes it memorable, doesn't it? The bar itself, where Harry goes up to, the fireplace, the chairs, who's sitting there, who comes in each time, who's different, what type of genre are they, what kind of creature are they, how they look, how they're acting, how they're interacting, how Mac interacts with them, all plays into how important that pub is. And Harry always goes to it almost every single book. In fact, he takes in his woman that he cares about, who's the police officer, with him there, and introduces her to Mac. And it was very memorable, and he has many memorable words for Harry. So really cool and iconic. But the structure, okay, so when your players walk in, what do they see? The fireplace, what is it? Is there a fireplace? Is there a simulated fireplace? What is it made of? What does it look like? What shape is it made into? Are there caricatures on it? Paintings that are around, or videos, or flashing media. Maybe there's a band playing. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Star Wars. Love them. All right, you Star Wars people, give me a big thumbs up for doing the Cantina theme. Yeah. Can you tell my age? Or the Star Trek one where Jim Kirk gets into a fight as a young officer. What memorable things do you remember about that place? How about the drinks? How about the types of creatures in there? How about who's Starfleet and who's not? How about the bar itself? Is it like Cheers with Sam and Sam and Woody and Coach behind it? Or our other favorite woman who gets into there? Are they there? How are they? How do you see them? How about the people who do the serving, so the serving maids and stuff? What kind of things are they using? What kind of trays do they use? Is it a levitating spell? Is it something else? What do they use to bring these things by? What are their characteristics? What kind of aprons do they wear? Are they cute? Are they buxom? Are they more rugged? Do they have scars? Do they have things to knock people upside the head if they get rowdy? All those kind of things. What type of bar material is it made out of? Wood, metal. What shapes are in there? What kind of, is there a humidor for smoking in there? Do they have pipes and different types of things in there? Do they have a area where they keep their alcohol? What does it look like? What kind of containers is in there? What is everybody drinking? What color of liquid are they drinking? Um, what's going on? Is there a band playing? Is there a bard playing? Who is it? What are they like? Is there a stage? Is it a two-story or one-story? What are the rooms like? What's the common room like? Are there big plush couches that sit by the fireplace that you can put your feet up? Or is it more, what kind of lighting is in there? Is it globe lighting? Is it torches? Is it sconces? Is it chandeliers, candelabras? Is it like disco lights? Is there a disco ball? You got to kind of think about this. So for the structure of the bar, that's the structure. Okay. The next part is what are the people like that are in the bar? Who is the owner? Who's the managers? What races are they? How are they? What kind of features? Do they have scars? Do they not have scars? Is their hair unique? How are they dressed? How are they talking to the patrons? What voice do they use? Do they have a special voice that you use as a GM? Kind of endears it a little bit or drives the players crazy. How many servers are there? What races are there? How do they dress? What themes do they use? Do they use different themes every time the characters come in? Give a little more pizzazz. Is it a hacker's bar? Is it an information bar? Is it a tavern? Does it have places they can stay? Is it just a one-night stay, or is there private rooms they can rent out for as long as they want? Or is there a common room that they can rent out as long as they want that all of them can be in? Is it upper class? Is it middle class? Is it lower class? What themes are in the room? All that plays in, and it makes it a memorable experience for your players. You want to indelibilize this is more than a one-time experience. This is something to be explored. Like the Nook I went to in lovely Huntsville, Alabama. The Nook is a bar of engineers and geeks that has actual reading material on the wall. So while you have a drink and something to eat, you can take all these classic books down and read them if you want, or have conversations with different people, or buy people different rounds. They have different IPOs, so you can buy different beers. Is your bar like that? Is it the place everybody goes to get to know each other and get to talk? What kind of NPCs are in there? Upper class, middle class, lower class, different aliens, brokers, information people, what kind of boons and banes can they give your players? Those are all important things, because your players are going to build that relationship, kind of like when people went into Cheers. Norm knew certain things, so did the rest of the bar. I mean, it just depends on who you were talking in there. So, were you talking to Norm? Were you talking to our friendly mailman? Who are you talking to in the bar? What kind of information? Are they outgoing? Are they not outgoing? Do they take note of you and report back on your players? Or are they an invaluable asset to your players? Do they hire the players out for special little jobs, kind of like out of Fairy Tale, the anime Fairy Tale, and the guild bar that's there? Or is it different? What goes on there? What flavor is it? What's the security like in the bar? Do they have some head knockers? Do they have ex-adventurers in there? Do they have military presence? Do they have police in there that are off duty that work it? Or star patrols, or different other people that are spies, or different people that come in and work offhand just because they like the barkeeper or the owner? How many of them are there? What kind of plugins? What kind of information can be had there? Is it a mainstay? Is it well known? These are all questions. I know I'm giving you a lot of stuff, but this is what you're going to flesh your bar out with. And it can become a real place of wonder. And again, I'm sorry for the camera. God, when I look at my own video on here, I kind of say, geez, can your head shine anymore, Rick? And what kind of things do they draw you in with? I mean, are you looking at other GM's work? So do you see the great Satine Phoenix and how she runs a bar? Matthew Mercer and how he does it on Tal'Dorei? You see that? Is it something easily that you can use that he's used before that you can adapt to your own Tal'Dorei? Is it something out of Paizo Publishing, out of Galarian, that you know of in Absalom or somewhere else that's a huge bar of renown? Or maybe it's the bar out of the dark markets of Katapesh. So it's like this. Ta-da! Guide to Katapesh, dark markets. So maybe it's a nightstand thing. Is there somebody who does trading in there? One of the things that we use in our setting right now with Reign of Winter is a Mercane. Look up a Mercane on Pathfinder PRD when you get a chance. Mercanes are weird-looking blue merchants with many eyes that are planar creatures that are basically a walking magic shop. They can get you anything. Anything. They're like walking into, in Pathfinder, a metropolis. They can get you anything you want. It's just a matter of how soon and how much. And the more business you do, the more they're willing to work with you and bargain with you. The more rare the items you bring to them after an adventure, the better. So maybe you have a glass of wine with the Mercane and talk business and talk shop. So they become one of the NPCs in there. And so now you can do trade business. Now they don't have to go off to a shop. They can shop at the inn. Great ideas, right? And a Mercane's easy to adapt to any system. So whether it's GURPS, whether it's Open Legend, whether it's Shattered RPG, whether it is Pure Steam, whether it is the Dresden File Bar out of Harry Dresden off the Fate system, whether it's out of Cypher system in one of the odd places. They've got a new game that's coming out that has these different dimensional type of creatures. So maybe it's something in that weird dimension that they all come from, in the different sun's rays. Or maybe it's something out of AEG Publishing and something that they do. Or maybe it's something out of Deadlands Reloaded. Or it's something out of Solomon Kane. Or it's something out of Call of Cthulhu, which I mentioned in the beginning, from Chaosium Games. Or maybe it's something else entirely. So Dungeons and Dragons, maybe it's something off of Greyhawk, The Wonderful World of Greyhawk. Maybe it's something out of Faerun that's a famous bar in the Zentalar realms. Who knows? But you want to have something that's memorable for your players. Maybe it's a space station bar. So instead of going with Amaria's Dawn, maybe with Open Legend, you go with a Starfinder type of setting. Gee, another game mentioned, huh? So I'm giving you all games to go explore at Gen Con 50 if you haven't spent enough money out there. And you can adapt it to one of these systems. The Mercane's easy. You can adapt over the stats. Real easy to any of these systems. Shadowrun, you can make him one of the information brokers in the cool leather outfits that's a hacker or a cyberpunk or a cyber samurai. So there's all kinds of cool stuff. The Samurai Mercane. God, that'd be fun. So yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do with this. Keep in mind you want to design special foods and drinks for the place. So you want to have some drinks. And one of the things that Benoit and the rest of the team does really well in this one, with the Remarkable Wins, Drive-Through RPG. When they launch it here, which watch the Kickstarter for it, it's for them to tell you the launch dates because it's going to go to us first that backed them. And then after that, get your copy. 84 pages of delicious greatness. All right? I'm just telling you. I was one of the people that got to see it very early on, and I love it. And yeah, I've helped him with some things. I've done some editing for Pathfinder, bringing stuff over for Kickstarters, but I'm not just saying that because of it. This really is great work in reading through it. So you really do want to come up with some interesting foods and drinks that have special properties. Sometimes it may be a boon or bane that it gives the player. Sometimes it's a hindrance. Sometimes it's spell-like ability. Sometimes it's healing. Sometimes it's making them drunker than a skunk and their knowledge goes way down. They all have different things, and they even have exotic foods. And the great part about that, then, you can endear yourself there at that inn by going and bringing more special food that they can process through. So, kind of like Blood Drive with the little diner that they went to that they chopped up humans. Ooh, Slink knows how to do that. If you guys haven't watched that, that's one bizarre, warped, kind of funny show. and, and it just kind of mind bends me every time. Slink. Jeez, it's our guy off of Fallen Skies, and I love him in the role. He is just darkly funny. So, that said, take some time. Design it out well. Give it characteristics. Maybe get the guide from the guys on the taverns and look at what the characteristics they use are. Pick where the location is. Pick a cool locale. So it's maybe out on the far butt end of the galaxy, kind of like the Tatooine Cantina. Or it's somewhere unique, like maybe near a black hole, or it's on another dimension, or it's in another realm, or God, we've got the astral dimension, all the other types of things like that. So it could be on another world, could be through a gate, could be in the land of the Fae, could be in the middle of the earth, could be in the middle of a volcano area. There's so much fun ideas, and the locale really will make it interesting for your players. The more interesting you make it, the more they're going to come back, the less they're going to want to destroy it, because it's not the same old, same old. It's a cool place to be. And so give classes, give perks, really design out your bartender, the serving people, the staff, and the local people that reoccur, or even the unique ones. Flesh them out. Make them into NPC characters with all the stats and everything else, because you want them to be able to interact with the party in a way that's meaningful. Okay? So that said, I hope it really helps you guys. As you can tell, I love doing this. I really do. The craziness going on today had me, I drove down to Houston. That's a long drive. And I was already kind of running behind, but it all worked out for the best. Got to see two really cool customers. But even so, I listened to what happened in Barcelona. And after Charlottesville and Barcelona, it just made me really sad. Angry and sad at the same time. At all the hate and the violence that goes on in this world. Checking in, I got to say I had one of the best people checking me in to my hotel here in San Antonio. He's a student. He's in his 20s. Could immediately tell he was a geek, so we connected a little bit. One of the things we talked about is where we kind of stood a little bit, and the fact that he made a profound statement that stuck with me. He says, people are so focused on their groups, their political point of view, their religion, their orientation, that when they deal with other people, they associate them with that group, whether it's for them or against. He says, when I try to talk with my friends, I try to remember that we're all human beings, and that we all have unique perspectives and points of view. And maybe we can forget one day all these other things and remember we're human beings. And it's about we're fellow human beings, and you should help your fellow human being. Not be forced about it, but help your fellow human being. What a profound statement from a 20-year-old. And no offense to any of you that are younger than me, I just don't see that so much anymore. I see a lot of dogma. I see a lot of causes. I see a lot of against this religion, against this group, against that group. Look at my plight. Look at my cause. You don't understand me. You're not my color of skin. You don't walk in my shoes. And you're right. I'm not. I may not have come up the way you came up. I may not have experienced some of the hatred you've experienced or the harmful things through parents, friends, and other people in your life or loved ones that were supposed to protect you. I said it in a different video, and I said it on this one, and please bear with me. I'm not being preachy or anything. I'm just sharing the profoundness of this. I hate the term white, because white is lumping a bunch of people that aren't that way. We're Celts, we're Gaels, we're Teutons, we are Anglos, Saxons, we are Normans, we are Vikings. We have many different places that we come from. Just because our skin is a little paler doesn't make us all the same group. no more than your skin being black makes you black. Look, there are Rwandans, there are Burmese, there's Thai for the Asian side, there's Vietnamese, there's Chinese, there's Japanese, there is Korean, there's Laotian, there is people from Chad and Ethiopia and Eritrea and the Sudan, and everyone is different. Everyone is different and formed by their families, their daily interactions, their social area that they're in, and the community, and those beliefs and mores and taboos. We're all different, okay? And what he said was so profound. When we can look past the, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're an LGBTQ, you are a feminist, you are a this. We love to put out there, don't we, what we are? We're proud of it. We want to wear it like a banner. And I understand that, especially when you've had to keep it behind closed doors. I could understand someone wanting to throw it out there because it's free. But his profound thing is, he sat and had a beer with somebody who was far right. And again, this is a professional paintballer that he knew, and he's a professional paintball referee in the professional circuit. And famous paintballer, by the way. And they had a great discussion over a beer. And they really looked at each other's point of views and had aha moments. Oh, wow. So that's why you think that way, or that's why you've made that decision that way. Okay. What a profound thing if we would just sit back and take time to try to understand. No, none of us have walked in each other's shoes. None of us totally understands every aspect. You know, I've got some great friends here, and I don't lump them together, okay? My friend Eric that's on Facebook, tremendous soul. Had a great talk about him earlier. Sadly, I can't spend too much. But he's not like every other person that likes men, a man that likes men. There's a woman with a superhero name on here, great soul, wonderful, from Canada, and she knows who she is. And she doesn't come off as the Rick, you don't understand, you just don't get it from my point of view in the community that I support. If anything, she is the most loving, wonderful individual I've met from out of there, other than my friend Eric. And we've only met on Twitter, and we've talked, but it's wonderful, and I really appreciate her. There's another person who is bisexual, who is out of the Northeast, who I know and talk with, and she's a wonderful soul. Reminds me a lot of my fiance, who is. And no judgment there, you know. It's just two great friends talking and promoting each other. And we differ in some of our views, but we're individuals, and we love each other for who we are. I don't lump her in with every other bisexual soul out there because everyone's different. Just saying that is some thoughts going into all this, that we want to lump people as, are they hate mongers or not? Like the guy on the website that says, do you have an open-mindedness and acceptance to everybody, or are you more closed-minded? If so, I'm not going to sell my roses to you. What the hell? You know, I want to say, how does that treat each person like an individual? It doesn't. It lumps them into factions. These groups today were similar, Charlottesville, and the one in Barcelona. They both hate, okay? But they're starkly different in who they are and what they hate. But yet, we will excuse one and call it a car running them down in Barcelona, where in Charlottesville we'll say a bunch of hate mongers, the neo-Nazis that we need to knock out, ran over a good woman. They're no different from each other in the hatred. They're the same. They're both hate groups. One's a religion, a extreme religion, and one's an extreme racist group. Okay? That's it. I just wanted to say that. Let's look at that profoundly hit me that maybe we need to look at each other much more like individuals and accept each other and love each other for that and listen to each other and take into account each other's view. Hope you don't check me after this. It's just a profound moment that I had to share, you know, and I figured I'd share it at the end of GM tips. But and I may expand on it more into what I call GM thoughts and do some GM thought videos where just Rick shares a little about life. So hope you guys can roll with me on it. Again, I love hearing your points of view and what you're thinking. So I hope you guys do. This is the only time I'm going to do it on one of these, but it just was very profound for me and made my day. So thanks for staying on a little extra long. Love you guys. Really do. I love each and every one of you that support me and that follow me and that are friends of mine, whether it be on Twitter and real life. You guys make the world a better place.